Hello and welcome to Bobcat Breakdown, presented by the Quinnipiac Bobcats Sports Network. I'm your host, Alex Cosgrove, and I'm joined by Taylor Massey, Voss, Gabbi Riggi. Guys, welcome. The Bobcats sports were in action all week, so let's break down the Bobcats. Boyhai Goita was named MAC Defensive Player of the Week for the past 2 weeks. The junior keeper from Spain has not allowed a goal in the last 207 minutes. The offense has been struggling, scoring 1 goal in the last 3 games. Now, first question, Connor, we'll start with you. How big of a concern is this offense for the Bobcats?
The offense this year has been by far the biggest concern for the Bobcats. As we know, we only have scored, the Bobcats have only scored with 2 different players, and that's Simon Hine and Marshall Baker, and that's still through today. That has been the case for a while. They have not had any surges. They've not had any opportunities to score with other players. They've been taking shots and they've been going to the net, but honestly, they haven't really shot as much as they need to. They haven't had the opportunities, and really that's what's costing them every game so far.
And Taylor?
Well, I think Connor stated pretty much everything, but it's a huge concern. The offense is a huge concern for this team right now. As he mentioned, only 2 players have scored. We're 7 games into the season now, and only 2 players have scored. As he said, Hine and Baker. They really need to see some other players on the offense step up, take charge, and get some goals for this team. They're just not following through.
And Gabbi, your thoughts?
I definitely think the offense has been struggling. I think the defense needs to step up as well. I think they had a lot of problems today with the match against Hartford. There were a lot of gaps, and Hartford took advantage of those situations, as well as Goitia did not play as well as he has the past 2 weeks. He had struggled a lot in goal, and he let in a very weak goal at the very end of the game. Just wasn't paying attention, didn't play till the final buzzer, and Hartford took advantage of that to end the game 3-0.
And second question, who needs to step up if the team is to put up some wins?
I think in this case, Ola Ogunjobi he's been a big part of this team for a while now, but however, like I've said, he's yet to score, and in that case, he needs to step up. Doig has been playing very well, but he's had opportunities, but he hasn't scored. It's kind of a team effort in this case. The team as a whole needs to step up. Two players that have 11 on the field at a time have scored, and they've played up to like 15 people a game. So really, it's got to be a team effort.
And Taylor?
I actually had also chosen Ola Ogunjobi and James Doig as players that I believe need to step up. Ola had 2 goals last year, and he's kind of inconsistent in his play, but now he really needs to take charge, especially because none of the other offensive players are taking charge. And then James Doig's a freshman this year, and he came in with a pretty impressive record playing in different leagues in England. I really expected some more for him, and like I said, 7 games in and only 2 players scoring. I think they really just need to spread it out throughout the offense and get more players consistently scoring.
Gabbi?
I'm going to agree with them with Doig. I definitely think he had with some strong efforts today, but he got pushed around a lot. Hartford was a lot bigger of a team, and they had a couple guys that were on him the whole game and were able to knock him down and kind of get him off his game. But when we play other teams, I definitely think he has the ability. He's good with special teams, with free kicks and things like that. So he definitely has the ability. I think he's one person, even as a freshman, that we need to see step up for this team.
And note, the Bobcats did lose today 3-0 to the University of Hartford. Now moving on to women's soccer. Last week, the women's soccer program reached a milestone when they beat the University of St. Petersburg 3-0, and it was the first win in MAC in the MAC. What was the key to success in that win?
In this case, it was their aggressive offensive attacking. Freshman, actually, Jessica Fontaine, she had a goal and 2 assists, so she helped assist on each scoring play of the game. And the Bobcats, they ran, they hustled, they pushed the ball through, and they, like you said, they earned their first MAC win of the season. And if this continues, they can actually put together a run that we haven't seen so far in this season from a soccer team. A 3-0 win is the best for any team we've had so far in this year. So if they continue with that pace, we can certainly see some success.
Well, I think a big thing was actually just playing the entire game through. They've been struggling, I think, to finish basically. And so they actually had 2 goals in the second half of the game, and I think that really helps them push getting an early goal in the first half and then also keeping up in the second half of the game. And as I said, playing all the way through. As Connor mentioned, Jessica Fontaine, I believe she was named MAC Player of the Week as well. She had a goal and 2 assists in that game, obviously assists on the other goals. She was huge. She was huge for the team this week, and I really hope to see some more from her. She also leads the team, I believe, in goals, points, assists, and shots. So she's really leading the team in almost every offensive category as well. So yeah, I think her impact, she impacted the team a lot this week, and then also just, again, having them finish the game through.
And Gabby?
I definitely think the leadership of some of the senior players has helped younger people like Fontaine, like defenseman Joanna Proctor, has helped make them feel more comfortable in the games and help them be stronger and play their system. I think the way that Jess Fontaine has played offensively, even when she hasn't gotten a goal, she's had a lot of great opportunities. I think she's taken advantage of a lot of the opportunities she has. I think her and a lot of the upperclassmen definitely have to keep putting the ball on net and finish the goals.
And was their aggressive style of play something they can build upon for future games this season?
Absolutely. Like I said just before, that's exactly what they have to build off of in this case. They have to push, they have to run, they have to, like Taylor said, play the entire game. Mm-hmm. And in that case, they will completely succeed here in the MAC. They just started off, and they're doing, well, in this case, fantastically. But they still have a few tough games. Obviously, it's a new schedule, it's a new teams. They're going to have to build off of that. But if they keep with the energy, with the aggression, they will absolutely continue to succeed.
I think basically just stressing my last answer, they need to finish. That's the biggest thing for this team, I think, at this point. They need to play the game all the way through and aggressively, obviously, getting on the ball and going to the net, making it all the way to the net. I think just playing it through.
Yeah, I agree. I think the attack style is going to be easier for a lot of the players. We have a lot of international players who played in English and Irish leagues, and they're used to that more attack-minded system. So I think that being able to be aggressive in plays is going to be something that they are able to carry with them for the rest of the season because of a lot of the women that they have on the squad.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a break on Bobcat Breakdown, but when we come back, Taylor Massey will take a look on freshman Nicole Scola on the women's golf team and her season so far. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Bobcat Breakdown. The women's golf team is made up of 9 golfers, but this season 1 newcomer stands out among the rest. Taylor Massey has more.
Freshman Nicole Scola has been golfing her entire life.
I wasn't really good with nap time, so my dad would take me on course to give my mom a little bit of a break on the weekends, and then I would just start hitting balls and fall asleep on the cart and then, get up and hit a couple more and then fall asleep again.
From toddler to college golfer, Scola brings many years of experience to Quinnipiac and has already broken 3 program records.
She's been consistent in all 4 rounds that she's played, and we won't allow her to go too much higher than she has.
She already reached great heights in high school, winning 4 consecutive Women's Rhode Island High School Championships, among other titles, and captaining the boys' team at her high school.
There was a lot more boys to play against, so, a lot of them were my friends, and getting to beat them was always a fun thing to bring up at conversations and stuff.
Her passion for the game knows no bounds. Just days before her final high school championship, she was in a life-threatening car accident. But her reaction wasn't what most would expect.
First thought was, hope my golf clubs are okay because they were in the trunk. And they were, so luckily I was fortunate with that. It was extremely painful, but ultimately I wanted to win that 4th title and, make a record. So I pushed through for that.
After capturing her final title, she brought her passion to Quinnipiac, where Coach O'Connor already sees her talent.
Well, she's a driven competitor. You can see it in the way she competes. She's not happy when she hits a bad shot, but she refocuses immediately, and she's able to overcome the bad shots and continue to hit good shots after that without letting the bad shots bother her.
As for the rest of her college career, Scola just wants to do the best she can for her team.
Already, I love the girls, and we're having a blast, so I'm really excited for the future with that and just, winning tournaments, placing well with them, and, being the best team we can be.
Taylor Massey, Q30 Sports. Thank you so much for joining us on our show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So now all of our viewers have just seen the package that I created, and I kind of just wanted to touch on some of the things that I didn't cover in the package. So I want to know, why did you choose to come to Quinnipiac?
Well, first, the golf team. I love the coach. Coach O'Connor is so supportive and is really driven to make the golf team, the most competitive it can be. The girls are amazing, and, the practice facilities we have are, second to none. I'm also in the 3+1 program, so I liked the academic aspect as well. So I'm really fortunate that I get to have both of those opportunities.
Right, and I know that when we had the interview with you, you really seemed to stress academics, and so did your coach. So how big of a part does that play in your college life right now, juggling it with golf?
A lot. It's pretty much golf and studying, because I'm taking 7 classes right now, so it's very demanding. So a lot of the times I'm studying, preparing for class, and then, fun and hanging out with friends comes later. But I'm also fortunate with the 3+1 living in the cohort housing that most of my friends are doing the same thing, and we're all together.
Wow, 7 classes. I think that'd be a lot for even a normal college student to handle.
A little bit.
Well, is there anything that else you fit into your life, maybe outside of golf? I know that's obviously your biggest passion, but is there any other interests you have?
Well, I like to just be adventurous and try new things. I'm fortunate that the golf team's pretty close, so we try and do those together. So after golf, we'll go out, explore the town, and then just around here with friends, hiking the Giant, exploring campus, and going to New Haven a little bit and seeing the shops and stores down there.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, Nicole. We are so happy to have you on, and good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back on Bobcat Breakdown.
And welcome back. The field hockey team is on a tear, winning 3 straight, and during their winning streak, they have outscored their opponents 12 by a score of 12-1. Ever since their loss at Lafayette, the team has found ways to dominate their opponents. Now, guys, do you think this success will continue on for the rest of the season?
At this rate, I certainly think so. Like you said, 12-1 in the past 3 games. That is pretty evident of a successful team. We were ranked 2nd in the preseason poll, and though we had the Bobcats had a shaky start, we picked it up from there. We've scored. We'd had defense. We had 2 straight shutouts now. So far, yeah, there's no reason for why we wouldn't be able to succeed from now on.
Taylor, your thoughts?
I think it's a little early to tell rest of the season yet, in my opinion. Certainly for the next few games, I think they're going to be successful and doing well, just because their goalie, Megan Conboy, has posted 2 shutouts in the last 2 games. It's really like riding the hot hand of a goaltender. I think she's going to keep doing well. And offensively, they've also had, I believe, 9 players score in the last 3 games, which is a great spread for their offense. Just as long as they all keep it up, I don't see why for the next few games they'll do well, and let's hope for the rest of the season.
And Gabbi, what do you think?
I agree with Taylor. I definitely think that the strength of the goaltending, as well as the way our offense has been the past few games, they can definitely keep it up for the next few games as we're coming along to the middle of the season. I definitely think they're going to be continuing to do well. It might be, as she said, a little early to tell about the whole season, but for now, I think they're definitely going to keep up their winning streak and hopefully their goalless streak as well.
And is their offense or is it their defense the reason for their recent success?
Honestly, in this case, it has to be both. There's no real evidence right now that says one is better than the other. They've had 2 shutouts, like you said, 12-1. Again, they've increased their goal output each of the last 3 games. So their offense has gotten better and better and better. Their defense let up a goal, 0 goals, and 0 goals, making Conboy, of course, with the 2 straight shutouts. The team is on a roll right now, and they will be successful from here on out, I believe. So, yes.
I couldn't agree more with Connor. I think it's the whole team working together, which is really what you need in a winning team. You can say the offense is doing better than the defense sometimes, but one or the other is not going to lead you to winning games. You need both, and I think this team has both right now. We can go back to Megan Conboy doing a great job in the goal. They're spreading out scoring offensively. Megan Conboy actually also protected against a penalty stroke in one of the recent games, so that's a pretty big deal. So I like I said, I couldn't agree with more with Connor. I think it's everything coming together for both sides.
And Gabbi?
I'm a pretty defensive-minded person, so I'm going to give a lot of credit to Conboy and the D for the field hockey team. I definitely think that a great defense builds a good offense. And even though we do have a lot of scoring for the team, I definitely think it's been the defense holding down the fort for the women that have led them to their success so far.
Okay. And the women's rugby, as we move on, the team's 7-game home unbeaten streak was snapped after losing to American International 36-12. They were held scoreless in the second half, outscored 24-0. Now, is the offensive struggles a cause for concern for the rugby team?
Well, absolutely. Anytime when the team that is considered an offensive powerhouse can't score is a huge concern in this case. The only person or the only player with tries was, I'm forgetting the name suddenly, I'm sorry, my apologies, but she only had 2 tries, and in that case, I mean, the offense needs to step up. The Bobcats did not produce anything other than the first half offense. It looked like at that point that they were going to continue on and give American International a run for their money. Unfortunately, that was not the case, and the offense needs to step up if they wish to succeed this year in the Northeast Rugby Conference.
I think the name that Connor was looking for was Natalie Cosco.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, I think it's cause for concern, as you mentioned, since the offense is really what leads this team. But I don't think it's kind of a, I don't know how to word this. I don't think it's, I don't know how to word it. I don't think it's the biggest deal, I guess. They're in a new conference this year, and I think it's bringing a little bit stiffer competition for them, which is good because it'll make them work harder. And honestly, this past game, although it's now the 7-game home game unbeaten streak, it wasn't that big of a gap in scoring, which normally when they win is a huge gap for the other team. So I think they'll come back this weekend, and I think they'll take over again.
Gabby?
Yeah, I don't think this past loss is any sign of a really big weakness in the team. I definitely think the women are very strong. They've done so well. They're getting pushed every season. Their team is being pushed even harder. They're being put into harder conferences, harder divisions. And I think they're having some growing pains, but I think in the end they're going to step up and they're going to be able to succeed.
Great. And what does the team need to focus on in the next game versus the University of Virginia? Connor?
I think most of all defense. All of the tries on the side of American International were essentially just running up the gut through the middle, and they continued to just push, aside from one 60-yard try by American International's Jessica Davis. The team just kind of fell back on their heels a bunch of times and just kept getting pushed into the in-goal area, and eventually just that resulted in tries. If they really wish to succeed for the rest of the season, they're going to need to really work on keeping their defensive zone safe.
I'm actually going to go with the offense. As I said, I don't think it's the biggest concern, but I do think that they need to step up a little bit more. Natalie Cosco and Maggie Miles are really the most frequent names that you see getting tries and stuff like that. I think they need to have more offensive players step up and do the work. The team can't fall back on 2 players the entire season.
Gabby?
I'm going to agree with Taylor. I think if we're going to claim ourselves as the Bobcats are going to claim to be an offensive powerhouse, they have to show it. They have to spread out the goal scoring throughout the offense, and they have to show that they really are the team that they claim to be.
And that's going to do it for Bobcat Breakdown. Remember to follow us at QBSN as well as Q30 Television. And Gabby, Connor, Taylor, thank you so much for joining me today. And we'll see you guys next week.